Hello my friends and welcome to another Tuesday of tutorial. I am Leonardo Perez Nieto and today I will make a small oil painting sketch to prepare for a larger painting. I start with just burnt sienna applied with a small bristle brush. It will be a horse and an angel, which is an image I had already drawn in a prior tutorial, and which I liked a lot, and so I decided to make a painting of it. So I sketched the horse roughly with this one color, and we can begin shading if we want to, and then the woman, which will be the angel. Both of them will be in profile. To shade, you can also use a rag to smudge the paint, but this one is so small I'm doing it with the brush, but more like a dry brush and very little paint. That's to give a general tone. It is very useful and sound to make a small sketch. It can be a quick one to help you work out things, both composition, tonalities, colors, etc., before embarking into a big and time-consuming painting. I'm slightly raising the horse and correcting some shapes. First we should lay out the general shapes and then refine them. For the darker tones I added a little bit of raw umber, which is a dark brown. Now let's roughly lay out the background, mainly to establish the colors and the values, that is how light or dark we want them to be. And we begin giving a tone to the horse, a light gray. I think the horse will be white, but since we have the lighting from the back, a backlight, then it looks a little bit darker than that. And we should add even a darker value, which in this case I make it bluish. By the way, when I added the background, I also cut in and refined the shapes of the figures. The list of materials and of the colors that I am using for this sketch is in the description below the video. Let's paint the hair. I will make it a little bit curly. Since we have a backlight, the edge will be lighter. It will be illuminated. This, of course, will also happen on the woman, on the body of the angel. Most of the edges will be more illuminated. And let's paint the skin. I normally mix the color of the skin simply with a cadmium red, yellow ochre, and titanium white. That gives a pinkish look, so often I add to it some blue. In this case, which I am looking for warm shadows, I also added a little bit of alizarin crimson, which is like a violet. Let's paint the light and also give it some touches of blue, so that it looks more artistic, more rich. For the hair, I used burnt sienna for the lighter areas and raw umber for the darker ones. The burnt sienna is a lighter brown, a reddish brown, and the raw umber, as we said, is a dark brown, which tends a little bit more toward green. I can make you more oil painting tutorials if you want me to, so please let me know in the comments. What would you like to learn the most? If we should do more oil paintings or not? And if we should go back to the basics of how to mix paint or how to mix a nice skin color in particular, or whether you would prefer them a little bit more advanced. Or maybe you don't want oil painting tutorials at all, in which case we should just then continue doing the drawing ones. Please do let me know in the comments. I really want to make an effort of producing what is most valuable to you. Okay, good. Now I will re-establish some of the lights because I left the sketch overnight, and when the paint dries, sometimes you can lose some of the light. Some of the whites may become less intense, especially if they were a little bit diluted. Now let's paint the wing with the feathers and work a little bit more on the horse hair. As I mentioned earlier, I want it a little bit curly. That's going to be a handsome horse. If you made it this far watching the video, I want to know about it. Please write in the comments the secret code white horse so I know you did. Very good, excelente! The last touches and it's ready. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. Subscribe to Fine Art Tips if you haven't done so already. Take care of yourself and of your family, and I will see you with more art on Tuesday.